man, this is really living.
We're committed to the art and nothing can stop us. Not even a train, plane, tractor, all of us as we feel the rhythm inside the marrow of our bones.
Hey guys, Bukula here, gonna give you a video. Hey, I got you over at planetxnews.org. Scott wrote an article here talking about that interplanetary shock that I reported on the other day from the article, from the NASA article. Basically what it is a slow solar wind, and then a higher solar wind comes behind it and catches up, and when they hit each other, it causes an interplanetary shock. Okay, now what's significant about that is, number one, they were able to see it with their high definition cameras. They're very sensitive stuff, and that they've discovered that it's electromagnetic energy. Okay, it's traveling, magnetically, that kind of a thing. All right. It's not kinetic like they thought. And I'll go into kinetic energy at a later date. Just such a big subject. I'm not going to get into that right here. But that just gives us more of a base to kind of say, hey, yeah, it's possible that when our Planet X object is here and it's reacting with the sun, the magnetic fields of those two are reacting with each other. And we see these disruptions on our magnetosphere. But yet the sun didn't do anything. But they're trying to call it solar wind. Okay, if it didn't come from the sun, it's not solar wind. It had to come from somewhere. So when we get those increases, we have to start looking other places, such as our object and system that's with it. Okay, cosmic rays come into that. So there's a lot of different stuff that we can talk about there. But anyway, to move on, this is another article. It's about Earth is, they found out that it's producing its own radiation. It's pushing it out, okay? It's actually putting it out into space. If we got radiation from another place besides the sun, we would call it cosmic radiation. So when the other planets and stuff get our radiation, I would assume that would be referred to as cosmic radiation for them also. But what this means is, guys, and I'm not saying that what this radiation means, but I'm going to explain something here. Pretend the sun's over here, okay? Here's our shield, right? Now it stretches out back this way. Now, what I think's happening when the sun, we're constantly getting bombarded this direction. That's why our magnetosphere goes back. That's why it looks as though, a man with a toupee going into the wind, right? It's blowing straight back, right? That's kind of what's going on here. But the Earth's acting like a capacitor. Okay, what's a capacitor? A lot of you are probably asking me. Well, what a capacitor does is it stores excess electricity. Okay, that's what it does here. That's what we use it for here on Earth. Okay. I use it a lot in the machinery and stuff I worked on for 20 years. Cars, like electric grids, they use capacitors at some level. You think of it like this, okay? When you add antifreeze to your car, if you put too much, where does it go? It goes into an overflow basin, right? And stupid ads again. Anyway, it goes into an overflow basin. Okay? Well, what happens when that's exactly what's going on here. Sorry, that kind of threw me off a little bit. Sorry. Here's the sun, here's its energy, right? So the Earth's building it up like a capacitor. It's acting like a capacitor. Well, when it decides that it has too much energy, it has to release it. Okay? So pretend on your car that that overflow basin got full. What would happen? Well, it would come out the top of the overflow basin, right? So that's what happens here. The energy is the antifreeze hitting the Earth. The Earth is just holding it until it has to let it go. Now, why do we only see it really letting go out the back? Okay? Because we talk about this energy we see just kind of appear out of nowhere here. and we'll sometimes see it travel that direction. Well, electricity is just like water. Okay, it acts very similar. It finds the path of least resistance. So, the Earth isn't just shooting off that energy back here. We're just seeing it that way. Okay? Because this path that's taken back here is the path of least resistance. It's not going to shoot it out towards the sun because the sun's pushing back at us. Okay? So the path of least resistance is behind us, and that's why we see this energy build up back here and go that way. In reality, the Earth is actually letting it go in all directions. It's just once it lets go, it can't get pushed towards the sun, so it has to go this way. That's what's happening. Okay? At least the way that I understand it and the way that I've kind of come to understand it myself through my research. We do see messed up stuff on the magnetosphere all the time, but it seems to be always in the back. And I ain't saying we can't get, energy coming from somewhere else from the backside, because it would, again, that's least resistance, but it's still pushing up against the energy of the sun. Whatever's coming back here. The advantage the Earth has is that it's already past the Earth, so we can just add energy to it. And it just keep moving on. Right? I know it's kind of hard to understand there, but just think of it in water terms. Electricity will find the path of least resistance. That's what it does. So, to ground, you can go into a lot of technical stuff. It goes to ground. But that energy will go the path of least resistance, even if you don't want to refer to it as electricity or magnetism, whatever. But anyway, so, like I said, go over here at planetxnews.org. Check out this website. It's awesome. He writes really good articles over here. Go check them out. Let's check out the Usgs real quick. See what they got to add here. See if there's any. There's a 5.5 in Mexico. That happened about 4 hours ago. 4 or 5 hours ago. So, there's a whole bunch. Guys, go check out Dutch Sense. He was talking about 5.9s. They're expecting more of them. In multiple different places. Now, a while back, I was talking about a deep earthquake. Okay, it was like a 5.0, right? He's got a chart. Okay, and I referred to that chart that he had. What that chart does is, okay, say it's a 5.0. And it's at 300 kilometers deep. Okay, well, you go over here to your chart, right? Well, the chart says at 300 kilometers deep, you need to add 0.5 to that. So it becomes a 5.5. But it's not talking about that particular earthquake. It's talking about the ones that are to follow. Okay? It's basically trying to tell you that you should, if something's really deep and you get a higher, and you get this 5.0 or whatever it is, you go refer to the chart and it'll tell you how much to add to expect on the next earthquake or the next few earthquakes, or to at least look out for that to be coming. He's very accurate. Some of his guys put together that chart. I misrepresented it a little bit last time I talked about it. I misspoke and said that, hey, you're supposed to add that 0.5 to that. That's not, I actually went back and watched my video, and it did sound like that's what I meant, but I meant this, what I'm talking about. I just didn't explain it right. So, anyway, I just wanted to correct myself on that so Dutch's information doesn't get misrepresented. Anyway, so what we're going to do, Seeds has updated, okay? And again, I showed you mine from earlier today about that filament released. So what we're going to do is we're going to go watch this, okay? They gave us the data back. Obviously, you're going to see some reactions here. There it goes. Just pay attention right in this area. Okay. It's taking forever to load. I don't know why. But you can kind of see a little CME there. Now, this was back on the 9th. Okay. But the action's happening on that side. You can clearly see that. Okay, now what I want to show you, we'll go to the next day, which is the 10th. Okay, now look at what we're seeing here. Alright, now I'm going to slow this one down once it loads. Is it loaded yet? Come on. I'm going to pause it. You're actually going to see energy trying to go back towards the sun. Okay, I'm going to start it back up. I'll slow it down a little bit. Okay, you're going to see energy kind of here and go this way. See that? Okay, it's almost like it came out of nowhere right here. Alright, now you see this little ball go this way, and then you see something here and it goes this direction. Now, I'm going to show you what I think that is here in just a second. Okay, now I do think that it's possible that could be an object there the sun's reacting with. I don't think it would be our Planet X object that we're talking about. Okay, if it is an object. Because I don't think that's the correct position for it. But I have to reiterate, the 28-day orbit that we're talking about, that Scott has definitely come up with something that I completely believe is the best theory that pretty much has had lots of observational evidence now to pretty much just say, hey, that's what I'm going to roll with until somebody can show me something better. I really think that's what's going on, guys. But with that being said, there's other objects out there. Nobody denies that. Okay, matter of fact, we say it all the time. The Planet X object is not the only object there. We've actually caught up to 3 to 4 of them anyway. So what I'm trying to say is that these other objects are most 100% in a different position than where the Planet X object is. They can't occupy the same spot, right? Okay, so I mean, what I'm saying is this could be an object. I ain't saying that it is. But it does look like something might have been there or is still there or moving through or whatever. But if you watch this, you'll see this ball go on off. Then you'll see what looks like energy start from right there and go this way. But again, I'm going to show you what I actually think happened here in just a second. I'll take you guys over to SDO. But I want to show you the other 2 days here of updates on it. Okay. And this one actually kind of shows it the best. I'll let it load here, guys, and then we'll talk about it. But yeah, I really do think that that's what's going on here, because you're going to see. Man, this thing takes forever to load sometimes. Oh, and this up here, nobody freak out about that. That's Mercury, guys. Okay, I think I might have been calling it Venus the other day. I didn't really name it. I said I knew it was a planet. I just hadn't went and looked yet. But that's actually Mercury. Okay, this gray box that people flip out about sometimes, it has to be there. Okay, it's blocking out that bright light. Okay, for this tool, the tool on the left to act like it's supposed to, it has to block out all that real intense light. Okay, that's why it has an occulter. You see this black disc? If that wasn't there, this camera wouldn't, or this tool wouldn't even get anything. All right, and something else I have to say before we move on is that is the occulter. The surface of the sun is probably about like that. So watch this energy go back towards the sun. See that? Ain't that crazy looking? Now we can't say that, like I said, once it got here, it's still moving towards the sun, because there's still a lot of space there. Alright, I just wanted to point that out. This is not the surface of the sun. That's just something they put there so they can actually get a capture. So what we'll do is, keeping that in mind, we'll go to the last day, and I'll let you look at that here for a second. This is the most updated one here. Alright, now again, it is what it is. But you're seeing a lot of bright stuff on this side. Okay, so we got a lot of action going on. And something else I'm going to say right now. This is not Earth facing. Okay, this happened on the other side of the sun. Okay, I can't say exactly where. I think Stereo A, with it being over here somewhere, may take a hit from this. But this energy that's shooting off here could actually be shooting off that direction. We just can't tell. because, you know, this is a two-dimensional model. It's not 3 dimensions. So anyway, that's the most updated part there. But I'm going to show you when that energy went back towards the sun, I'm going to show you what I think that is. I'm going to take you guys over here to SDO real quick. Okay. We'll go to the browse section here. Okay. Watch how I do this, guys, okay? So you guys can kind of do it yourself. I clicked on the AIA HMI browser data. That's what you want to do. Okay. And you guys can I'll leave a link to this anyway, but I do all the time. You can just simply go to space weather and you'll be able to get to the SDO from there. But I'll leave a link to this. So what you do from here is you enter the date you want to look at, hit 11, which is where I'm going to look at, and I'll go all the way back to 0-100 hours. You have to keep clicking it. Now, see how it changed to 8-1100 at 0-100 hours? 8-11 at 0-100 hours. So here, on the bottom, you tell when the last capture you want to look at. So, it's now the 13th, according to this, UTC time, okay? It's about midnight my time, Eastern time. So, again, it's about a 4-hour difference. So, you click there, and then you check your angstrom you want to look at. You see right here where it says AIA, which is the angstrom level. It says 171 gold. If you click the drop down box, you can go to the other angstroms. Basically what it's doing is it's looking in different light spectrums to see different things. It's very basic. But we'll look at the gold one here real quick because it's pretty impressive. Again, we're watching right here. Okay, what I find interesting at the end of this, it takes a dive to the south. Watch. See that? And also at the end of it, you can actually see it, another little blast happen right there. Watch it one more time in this angstrom. There's the other blast right there. So it actually had like a residual CME behind it, it looked like. Again, this is not Earth facing, guys. Okay? I've personally never seen a filament release like that. See how it kind of dove right there at the end? I mean, it kind of went the same speed, and all of a sudden it went woof. Watch it. See that? I mean, it's kind of crazy. I've never seen it do that before. I've seen it change direction and stuff, but as far as the shape of that, I've never seen any shape like that. Anything that even resembled that really a whole lot. I ain't saying it has never happened like that before, because it most certainly could have. I don't know. I've just never personally seen it. So we'll look at the 304, and then I'll explain to you what I think why it looked as if that energy was going back to the sun. Okay, what you're going to see. Remember my video from earlier? I called it hop, skip, and a jump because the energy started here, hopped over here, jumped over here, and went on out, right? There it is, stretching out to the surface, and then it releases, okay? So what we're seeing when we seen that energy go back towards the sun was this part of it. It went out here, and then it actually did. It went back to the sun. But then it went ahead and released again. So when we seen that over at seeds going back towards the sun, this time it was that, in my opinion. It's in the correct position. Happened about the same time speed. So I really think that both of them are looking at the same thing. Now again, watch this. I mean, you see that little ball shoot on off into space. I've never seen that before. Watch. See that? And just kept right on going, man. And it looks as if it might have erupted again, you know. So, but yeah, guys, I really wanted to show that to you again and give you a little explanation on what's going on with that. But, you know, just keep your eyes open, guys. Stay vigilant, and we'll just keep looking at it and keep pushing forward, guys. And Hope you guys, I'll give you another video probably tomorrow or the next day. I'll put another update on all the models at the end of this one. And God bless. Yeshua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.